Welcome to a brand new episode of the Michele Tafoya podcast. Hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to subscribe. We'd love to have you on board with us for every single episode. Today is Wednesday, and every Wednesday we do what's called Wildcard Wednesday. We go around the internet and play some of the best, choicest sound from the last few days or the last week. And this one should not disappoint. So hit subscribe. We'd love to have you with us every single time. Without further ado, you may have already heard this. I wouldn't be surprised if you have, but we're going to play it anyway because it really started my week off just right when James Comey, former head of the FBI, guy who threw Martha Stewart in jail, you know, James Comey, the one who took seashells in the sand and said 8647, that James Comey, he is a Swiftie. And who isn't these days? I mean, my goodness sake, she's dating Travis Kelce. She was on the Kelce Brothers podcast, New Heights. So everyone loves Taylor. Not everyone. But anyway, Jim Comey does. And he felt the need to tell you that. Let's roll the tape.
I want to talk about a truly inspirational public figure named Taylor Swift. Of course, I watched her podcast interview with the Kelce Brothers. Of course, I watched the whole thing, although on YouTube, Patrice and I got kicked off for the last 15 minutes and finished it on her phone. But I watched it. You see, Taylor Swift and I go way back. I went to my first concert of hers 15 years ago. I've been to a second, and I have helped financially support the attendance of a lot of family members at others. I'm in a family's Swiftie group chat. I know all her music, and I listen to it in my headphones when I cut the grass. So yes, I have a favorite of hers, although honestly for me it's a tie between All Too Well, 10-minute version, and Exile featuring Bon Iver. Taylor Swift has grown up with my family and provided us a soundtrack, really, as we've grown ourselves and learned and adapted and dealt with adversity and celebration. She had songs for all of it.
Am I speechless? A little bit. Even though I've seen it many times. I don't know which part is the most cringy. Admitting that he has on the group chat, the Swiftie group chat, admitting that the 10-minute version of All Too Well is one of his favorites. Saying that she's helped us through adversity and celebration. First of all, it looks like he lost a bet. It looks like someone made him a bet. Hey, let's play this game of billiards. If you lose, you have to go on your Substack in a suit and tie and proclaim your love for Taylor Swift. And so he had to do it. Or else someone was pointing something at him. I don't know, but it's weird. Someone said he's got leading man syndrome. Like he has to be the star of every show. And so he's constantly got to put himself in front of people and say stuff like that. Whatever it is, it was weird, but delightful in its cringe factor, because sometimes you just got to dig into the cringe. We'll have more cringe for you coming up. Believe me, there's a lot to go around. One of the most cringy, and I'm going to pull back on using that word because it itself is kind of cringe. Socialism. So I live in Minnesota where we've got a communist running for mayor of Minneapolis, similar to Mamdani in New York. Now, is this a little spasm that we're going through in America where we're thinking, oh, Ilhan Omar's great. She's done a great job in Congress. So we need to elect more like her who hate America, who go on the record as hating America, and who really want to change the entire ideology of America. So how did we get here? Well, John Kennedy, the senator from the great state of Louisiana, one of my favorite sound bites in the history of man, put it pretty starkly by saying this. Roll it, Misty.
How did we get here? Well, we stopped teaching our kids about the Cold War and Stalin's death camps in communist Soviet Union, and the fact that Mao and communist China killed tens of millions of people. But also because the mainstream wing of the party is scared to death of the loon wing. They won't speak up, and they don't stand for anything anymore. All they stand for is whatever is against whatever President Trump stands for. That's why we find ourselves in the extraordinary position of mainstream Democrats have now come out firmly and passionately in favor of crime in Washington, D.C. Why? Because Trump is trying to do something about it.
Orange man bad. But the first part of what he says is so important. We've stopped teaching history. History is fascinating, folks. And what may be the most incredible thing about history is how we keep repeating it. Now, America has a unique place in history because it's based on really enlightened ideas. I was trying to say ideologies and ideas at the same time, and my accent was on the wrong syllable. Ideas, really ideas that are based on each individual has the freedom to pursue his or her happiness. That is your right, and you have the right to defend yourself. And as long as you don't hurt anyone else in what you're doing, do it. Now, obviously, people have problems with capitalism. Capitalism, if totally unchecked, whatever. But let's get back to the point here. Communism, socialism, Marxism, fascism, they've all failed. All of them, time after time after time. But we keep employing these professors and teachers that try to tell, but that is the way. Everyone must be equal. Not everyone must have equal opportunity and equal access to opportunity or equal rights to opportunity and happiness, but they must have equal outcomes. Nah. Now, most people love sports. Think about sports. Are there equal outcomes? No. There's a winner and a loser, and people hate ties. No one wants to see a tie. No one wants to see that. You want to see champions. You want to see winners. You want to see which swimmer touches the wall first at the Olympics. So this idea that we're not teaching the reality of these ideologies, these horrible, horrible things that Mamdani wants to do in New York City is a big, big part of this. Oh, we should all just get along. No, you know why we can't all get along? Because we don't all share the same values. I mean, it's as simple as that. So I love John Kennedy, and he's correct. We aren't teaching history. Read some history. There's some damn good history out there. Some of it's written in novel form. It's the best kind of reading. But instead, we are telling people that, things like reparations are necessary, and we all need to be living in the same kind of conditions, and, just lowering the bar so that everyone can cross it rather than raising the bar so that everyone can jump higher and see what they're made of. So in Minnesota, we've got this guy running for Hennepin County Attorney Hennepin County Attorney. He's a candidate named Cedric Frazier, and here's why I bring him up, because it seems to me that reparations, this idea of reparations, is making a comeback. Like, it died down, the debate died down in the main for a while, but this guy's bringing it back. This guy is endorsed by Keith Ellison, who is our current district attorney in the state of Minnesota, who's a complete and utter, he just likes lawlessness. He doesn't like to really pursue criminals in the way that they need to be pursued. Anyway, this guy is running, and he says, I'm a dad, I'm a lawyer, I'm a good Minnesotan, but his top priority is reparations. Take a listen.
I believe that a lot of the opposition to doing reparations because the country doesn't want to live, doesn't want to face the fact of just how dark and how atrocious and egregious our history was in this country, and acknowledge the harm that was done to the descendants of those folks in this country. Brother English, how you doing? There is truly a debt owed, and we are not going to stop coming, and we're not going to stop talking about it. We're not going to stop pushing until that debt is paid.
Until that debt is paid, we're not going to stop talking about it. We don't talk about it enough in America, how egregious it all was. That is not true. The number of films made, the number of papers written, the number of speeches given, the number of people killed in the Civil War. It's been discussed and discussed and discussed. Now, listen, you can debate reparations all you want. I have no problem with debating them. But if you're going to have reparations, there are plenty of candidates out there for reparations. Women didn't get to vote till the 1900s. Damn it, that's changed the course of history. I want reparations for women who were denied the right to vote. Now, is that on equal footing with the atrocities of slavery? No. So don't misinterpret that. But we continue to live in this victimhood mentality where you're asking people of today, 2025 in America, who have absolutely no connection to slavery, none, to pay for the sins of others. So if you can find a way to make this work and to find enough people to agree with you, go ahead. But if that's your number one, in Minnesota, that's your number one goal, good luck with that. I think it's insane. We have public safety issues in Minnesota. We have education issues in Minnesota that are ridiculous. We have fraud in Minnesota government. So yeah, that's not high on my list. It's not, because slavery was never a thing in Minnesota. All right, let me get this in quick because I need to tell you about this. You know that I was on the sidelines of sports for 30 years. Everything from the NFL to the NBA, college sports, Olympics, you name it. So I've learned that real expertise comes from consistency, not guesswork. And that's why I'm excited to team up with Sports Corner Daily. Their free daily picks keep cashing with analysis so clear even a casual fan can cash in. And with the NFL and all the big matchups right around the corner, think about college football. There's no better time to get in on the action. My listeners get 2 expert picks delivered free every single day. Just text the word BETS, B-E-T-S, to 321-448-0691, 321-448-0691, or visit sportsdailypick.com to sign up in seconds. No cost, no risk, just smart winning insights. Again, text BETS, B-E-T-S, to 321-448-0691, or head to sportsdailypick.com. Why would you wait? Kick off the season on the winning side. You can do it. All right, so we go from Minnesota and a seemingly lack of interest in crime in Minnesota to Washington, D.C., where they're trying to bring crime down by bringing the National Guard in. Oh, my gosh, we're federalizing the National Guard in D.C. We're coming after criminals. Oh, it's awful. This is fascism. There are a lot of problems in D.C. with the city council, with the way that crimes can be prosecuted. And Scott Jennings, who is now part of the Salem radio family, we're thrilled to say, you see him often on CNN. Maybe you don't see him often because you don't watch CNN that much, but you can hear him on the Salem radio network. He read an article in the New York Times and noticed something that was obviously buried deep within the article that you should know. Listen to this.
Something that caught my attention on this story, buried at the bottom of a New York Times piece about D.C. U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro, a note about the fact that Washington, D.C. limits prosecutions of criminal offenders under the age of 25. Let me say that again. They limit the prosecution of people under the age of 25 in Washington, D.C. I'm sorry, what? Who do you think is committing the crimes? The roving bands of teenage carjackers, of course. They're under the age of 25, and they limit the prosecutions there, folks. Washington, D.C. needed an intervention, and Donald Trump's intervention was right and justified and couldn't come soon enough.
So it's interesting. This is why? Why wouldn't you hold everyone accountable for crimes? Why? So what you've done there is you've created this loophole, and you can have all these criminals who are 28 and 35 and 42, and were all those multiples of 7? Anyway, you can have all these older criminals organize these teenagers that, guess what? Go steal that car. We're going to strip it and we'll pay you. Because you won't be dealt with. And we won't be caught. Because we're the puppeteers. You're go do it. Trust me, you'll be out. Even if they throw you in jail overnight, you'll be out the next day. This is insanity. This is another reason why we've gotten to such a low level of accountability on every level in this country, because people who are powerful are not held accountable and people who are young are not held accountable. Why? If someone can give me a good answer, please do. Go to micheletafoya.com and send me an email. All right. Trump also wants to end the war, many of them. He's ended some conflicts around the world, but the most important one perhaps is the one between Russia and Ukraine, the one that started when Joe Biden was president of the United States, and Trump has made it a mission to end. Now, why has he made it his mission? He's never started a war, and he's tried to end plenty of them. And as we mentioned, he's made about half a dozen peace deals around the world. India and Pakistan is just one. So this one's important to him. So why is that? I think it's really hard for people to believe him when he says, I want to stop people from dying. Like, that's a public safety issue as well. Why are we letting people get hurt needlessly or being killed needlessly? So anyway, Trump goes on Fox and Friends early morning this week, and he says the following about why he wants to end the war. Roll it, Misty.
Just want to end it. I want to end it. You know, we're not losing American lives. We're not losing American soldiers. We're losing Russian and Ukrainian, mostly soldiers. Some people, as missiles hit wrong spots or get lobbed into cities like Kiev and towns. But, you know, if I can save 7,000 people a week from being killed, I think that's I want to try and get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well. I hear I'm really at the bottom of the totem pole. But if I can get to heaven, this will be one of the reasons. Well, I think I saved a lot of lives with India, Pakistan. They were going at it. The planes were being shot down. That was going to be maybe a nuclear war if I let that go. And I did that through trade.
So there you go. Is he tooting his own horn? Yes. Is he trying to get to heaven? Likely. Aren't we all? But see, here's the thing. The people that hate him are going to say, see, it's all about him. He just wants to get to heaven. He just wants to be perceived as a good guy. Do you hear how stupid that is? If in the process of wanting to get to heaven or wanting accolades, you achieve something great, who the hell cares what your motivation is? Oh, the motives aren't pure, but the outcome is awesome. That's like saying, you know, Tom Brady only plays football so he can win Super Bowls. Yeah. You think he's playing for his health? I mean, it just... So I go from that to this. This is from a few months ago from John Bolton, who was in the first Trump administration, and I'm sure that's a selection Trump would like to rethink. But John Bolton now goes on CNN, and he thinks there are other motives for Trump wanting to bring peace. Let's roll it.
Principals, Secretary of State Rubio, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz kind of do the talking?
Look, the pressure that Trump has put on for a ceasefire is motivated by one thing, Trump's desire for good publicity and to buttress his case to get a Nobel Peace Prize. You want a ceasefire between two warring parties, they need to decide it.
Okay. He wants good publicity. That's his motivation. You know what? If that motivates him to bring peace and that lights a fire under him to bring peace, who the hell cares? Who cares? I mean, you're only working because you want to make money. Yeah, and I'm going to work super hard so I can make more money in whatever industry I'm in, says average American person. I mean, come on. So what if he wants a Nobel Peace Prize? He's got to do something great to get it. So let him be motivated by that. Who the hell cares if in the process we get peace? My God. It's sort of, it's just, I keep repeating myself. That's why I'm sitting here stammering, because I hate repeating myself. But people just don't want the man to have success. They hate him that much. It's as simple as that. I mean, so whatever. Have you tried sleep cream yet? I'm going to keep telling you about it. Sleepcreme.com, CREME, sleep, CREME.com. So I use this stuff. It's on my nightstand. It's in my travel bag. It's a great all natural way to help you relax and go to sleep at night. And it's a topical, it's a lotion, and it smells so good. And they have now Sleep Cream Rose, which is this gentle aromatic cream. It's got natural CBD oil. It's designed to calm you, nourish your skin, and the aromatherapy element of it is tremendous. So this one is infused with pure Bulgarian rose essential oil. Go to sleepcream.com, CREME.com. Use the code HOMERUN at checkout to get free standard shipping on your first order. That's code HOMERUN at checkout to get free standard shipping on your first order. And by the way, if you don't experience better sleep, I was skeptical too, but this stuff has won me over. I use it constantly. If you don't experience better sleep, Sleep Cream will refund your purchase within the first 30 days. Guaranteed. Sleep, CREME.com. Use the code HOMERUN at checkout. All right, let's wrap up with some goodies here. These are tremendous. There's a woman out there in the world who thinks that babies should have mandatory vasectomies. I said it. Mandatory vasectomies. Male babies, obviously. Roll the tape.
Mandatory vasectomies for baby boys. Yeah, I said it. And if that made you flinch, good. You won't want to miss part 2 either. Trust me. You want to solve half of society's problems? Start there. Because here's the truth. Men don't want to wear condoms. They don't want accountability. They want raw. And when the baby comes, they say, oh, it's not my problem. So fine. Mandatory vasectomies. Problem solved. Abortions, they would drop overnight. Date rape pregnancies, gone. Single motherhood, cut in half. Generational trauma, reduced. And crime would plummet. Because fatherless homes are the #1 pipeline to gangs, violence, and prison. Fix the fathers, fix the future. This one move would take women out of survival mode, kids out of poverty, and society out of chaos. And the only ones mad would be the ones that never wanted accountability in the first place. So yeah, call it savage. But if we snip the problem at the root, we'd finally see what society looks like when women aren't carrying it all. Don't scroll, catch part 2 because the return on investment would be mind-blowing.
There you have it. Just end the human species. I don't think she knows what the hell she's saying. Mandatory vasectomies for male babies. Because women deal with all the shit. All of it. And men don't care. Men just don't care. Fatherlessness in the home is a problem. I don't think vasectomies are going to be the issue. Well, why doesn't she give women any responsibility in the creation of the baby, by the way? None. Just vasectomies. Okay, here's number 2 in our final little 4 here. This woman, I went to Cal Berkeley. Some of you may know that. I sent my diploma back. That's a story for another day. This woman got her PhD from Berkeley, and she's not happy right now. Roll the tape.
Getting crushed by capitalism is like so cringe, but it's like it's happening to me. And like I got a PhD from Berkeley and like I can't get a job to save my life. Like I got a soil biology PhD and like now I'm a tutor and a babysitter and a dog sitter. And like part of that is because like I don't want to like move to some random place in the middle of nowhere. But like the other half is like they cut all the funding for science and like the biotech market is just like absolutely cratered and like I have long COVID, so it's difficult for me to work like a full-time job, and just like, I got on here to rant a little bit, but like, oh my God, like, what do we do? I just have to work.
Okay. If you saw me busy over here, it's because I was counting every time she said like, because that might be like one of your problems, honey. Like if you're interviewing like and saying like every other word, like that's kind of a turn off. Like you don't sound like you are educated enough to have a PhD if you like just keep saying like. So that's one issue. Number two, you don't want to move for a job. That's your problem. That's your problem. If soil biology is not big in Northern California and you might need to move to Nebraska, you should have considered that when you decided to get your PhD in soil biology. Where are the jobs? Long COVID? Okay, so you can't hold a full-time job, but you're complaining about not having a full-time job? You can babysit, walk dogs, and tutor, and that's what you got to do. See, honey, like let me put this in your terms. Like here's the reality. Like sometimes in life, like you gotta like move to get a job that you like really like want and that like you invested like a lot of yourself in like for. So that whole bit of I don't want to move. Oh my gosh. You're just entitled, aren't you? Because you got your PhD from Berkeley. Next up, Governor Ron DeSantis. He's fortunate enough to be the governor of Florida, or Florida is fortunate enough to have a governor who's got a spine and who knows right from wrong and who knows how to control crime and respond to COVID and react to hurricanes. He has a cheat sheet, he says. Roll it, Misty.
People ask me like, oh, Florida, you guys are leading this. You just, how you do it? I was like, as governor of Florida, I get this great cheat code. All I got to do is look to New York, Illinois, California, and then do the opposite.
He neglected Minnesota. That's another one. He just threw out the three biggies, but he could look to Minnesota and do the opposite too. I like that. He's unapologetic for how successful that state is. I absolutely love it. Now to the NFL, there's a rookie quarterback for the Titans. His name is Cam Ward. And you gotta love a young kid just drafted this year, getting a chance to play in the NFL. And unlike our PhD from Berkeley, this kid is willing to work and to go to the Tennessee Titans, not the upper echelon of NFL teams right now, but he's gonna go to work. And here's why. Roll it.
I'm just a big person on work. I said yesterday, I've grown up, watched my dad wake up at 4:30 doing a job he didn't like. So, if I can't wake up early and do what I need to do for a job I do like, I shouldn't be playing football. And that goes for everybody in the locker room. If you can't have the expectation for yourself that you want to be with a good or a great player and want to put the work in, I just think that's how it should go. I just think good things only come to those who work.
Good things come to those who work. I'm going to send this video clip to our PhD candidate from Berkeley. Actually, she has her PhD. I shouldn't call her candidate anymore. She might just want to work. Like work. All right. That is it for today's episode of Wildcard Wednesday. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, be brave and do good. See ya. Hey, you can keep up with the Trump administration when you subscribe to the Trump Report. It's an email that brings you daily highlights from the Oval Office right to your inbox 5 days a week. Subscribe today at SalemPodcastNetwork.com/Trump.